Hi, welcome to Voices of Somerville, a program by the City of Somerville, and it comes out of the Communications Department, the Health Department, and produced and directed by the Office of Somerville Commissions. I'm Sonja Darai, and today I'm really excited to be talking to one of my new friends and hoping that we'll be doing a lot of work together in the future. Corey Yarbrough, who is the Executive Director of the Hispanic Black Gay Coalition. And Corey, thank you very much for coming.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be here.
So I wanted to first just tell everybody why, how we first got to know each other, and why I'm really excited that Corey came to Somerville. We received the invitation to attend the second annual. I can never say the initials right. The Hispanic Black Gay Coalition. I can't do the initials quick. And so we got invited to the second annual dinner. And so I just wanted to just learn more about that event. I was excited because it was 11-11-11.
Yes.
And so I was so happy to have been there. So tell us a little bit about the annual dinner, and then
Sure.
what you accomplished that day.
Sure. Well, we're glad to have you there, and we're glad to finally bring one of our events to Somerville. So really excited about that. But the second annual cocktail reception was really just our annual celebration / fundraiser, and it's one of the most anticipated events of the year. It's something I look forward to every year. And it's just a venue for reflecting on all of the events, all of the programming, all of the major impact we have had with the LGBT population of color and sometimes beyond in the area. And it's also an opportunity to fundraise, which is really important for nonprofits, and to not only be able to maintain and sustain what we've done in the past, but increase it and do even more and expand our services to new regions.
I thought it was really exciting because there was some amazing art on display that I just was really excited about, lots of different sizes. So it was really neat how the artist was expressing themselves, and those were all for sale. And then I love the keynote speaker, so I want to talk a little bit about the keynote speaker and the awards, where a lot of allies in the community that we all work with.
Yeah.
And I was also really touched by the recap that you as co-founder, both of you shared, which was really exciting. And then I just wanted to put out a plug that the Holiday Inn really came up to bat and also offered a lot of support to the fundraising. So I thought Somerville's Holiday Inn has to have a shout out because they did a good job. So
absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about the keynote speaker for the November annual event. I thought she was amazing.
Sure. So our keynote speaker was Valerie Spencer, and she is a dynamite speaker, one of a kind. And I actually saw her speak on a panel when I was down in DC, participating in an event by the National Black Justice Coalition out on the Hill. And I said, who is this fiery person just saying anything coming to her mind and just telling it how it is? And I was like, I need her in Boston to kind of wake up the community and give the community a call to action, which is exactly what she did. She's a renowned transgender activist, as well as Black activist, LGBTQ activist as a whole.
She's just an activist.
She's just everything.
She's just an activist.
Yeah, she's just amazing.
She was I was just like all fired up. She was.
And
really
what was
cool.
so amazing about that is, even though she is a transgender activist and she's not shy about that at all, she was able to bring a message that crossed boundaries for the LGBT community, for the ally community, and really just gave us some motivation and some passion for going into the new year. So it was great to have her there. And
the awards, tell us a little bit,
Sure.
How did you guys come up with, is this the second annual time that you've done awards, or was this, what got you to this?
This was the first year that we decided to do the awards, and we wanted, as I just said, these annual reception is a time to kind of reflect and to raise money, but we also wanted to do something to give back to the community and to recognize that the support of the community is what keeps us around. And so that, was the idea for having these awards. And so we had 3 this year that we will continue on moving forward. And one was a community-based award. So we wanted to honor a program or an organization that, in addition to HBGC, is invested in LGBT communities of color. And what was kind of exciting about that award was that it was decided by the public. So we suggested 5 nominees, and then the public voted, and the winner ended up being Transcend, which is an organization or program rather that is underrated in the sense that they do a lot of great work for the transgender community, particularly transgender individuals of color. So it was great, especially giving our keynote speaker as well as an activist for that community, to have them honored. And then the other 2, one was for a individual, a legend, icon in our community that has kind of paved the way for people like me and my partner to found this organization. And that was to James L. Hardy, who is a renowned author. We're actually featuring his book at our next book club in February, B-Boy Blues, which is a really popular piece of gay literature. And then the last award, which I can't even remember right now.
I can't even either. I just remember that it was really great. I thought it was 2 different organizations and then 1 individual, wasn't it? But the website will definitely say so.
Yeah, it is definitely on the website, and I feel horrible right now that I can't even remember it. But it was Transcend. It was James L. Hardy. And
there's a lot of organizations that like really came to the event. And
I remember now, and she would kill me if she sees this. But it was Jadi, our very good friend, Jadi,
right.
yes, who is an up and coming. So we had the Legends Award, and then we had an individual up and coming award that we presented to Jadi, who is doing some amazing work here in Boston, running the first and only open mic night for LGBT people of color.
Right,
yeah. So
she was a really good speaker too,
yeah,
so
she is as well. I mean, she's an artist. That's what she does.
Yeah.
So, really great to have all 3 of those. So sorry, Jadi, we love you as well. And that was an amazing thing to do for the event.
So, say a little bit about how you guys founded the event, and just kind of look back a little bit and say, what got you to your 2nd annual. That was a big day, but
it was.
What got you there? What was the work, and what inspired you guys?
Sure. So, I mean, the organization was started back in 2009, and it really was a grassroots, feeling a need, community response to a lot that was lacking in the community. I moved here from DC and just felt a lot of isolation and a lot of exclusion from the LGBT community here in the greater Boston area. And it's so easy to complain, and it's so easy to look at an organization and complain and say, oh, they're not representing me. But it's a whole nother thing to put that frustration into action. And that is something that my partner and I, decided to do, along with a lot of other community members who wanted to see something by us for us. And I think the success that we've had kind of speaks to how great the need was. And how hungry the community is for even more action and even more opportunities to build community, to fellowship, and to provide services.
How many people are on your board? Because I met a lot. I met a lot of people at the event.
Right now we have 7 people on our board, and it's a diverse bunch, all ages, of course representing the Black and Latino population as well. And so they helped me get through a lot. So it isn't easy, particularly being a young leader, young executive director. So my team helps me get it done, and we all keep each other afloat. And
you have lots of members. You have community members that are part of the whole thing. So there was people who are from Somerville. I saw there, so it was nice that they didn't have to go too far.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And so it was a really crowded event. So there's lots of energy. What are some of the programs and events that you do?
Sure. Well, HBGC, we mainly have 5 program areas that most of our services and events kind of fall under. The first is coming out support. And so that is pretty much how it sounds, just supporting people through the coming out process in a variety of ways. We do individual counseling, group support groups, as well as public awareness events. So we have coming out support, we have HIV and STI prevention, which involves HIV testing, again, prevention and educational initiatives and events. We do a number of trainings where we train particularly youth to get involved in HIV prevention and communicating the value of protecting yourself. The third is civic engagement, which involves a lot of community service initiatives as well as broader community mobilization and advocacy projects. The next is community building. So that is a lot of our networking events, a lot of our discussion groups, just things to build fellowship and to connect people within their own community. And then the last, which is particularly important and I think unique for our organization, is spiritual growth.
Yep.
Recognizing that for LGBT people of color, issues of faith, religion, and spirituality are really heavy, if not for ourselves, within our family. And so we work to help people realize that if you want to be a person of faith, there's not a contradiction there between living your life the way you want and serving a God, or gods. So that's our main program areas.
So we have a lot of spiritual folks in Somerville who are supportive of the LGBT, but I'm just wondering, there's so many different people in the world, and there's so many different ways to express religion. So how do you support people to be able to find where they feel comfortable to go, which is half of the road, and where they will be welcome to be, and then to smooth out the road in places where folks want to go this direction with their faith and their life and their families, but maybe that road is not open as much as we would all hope to be. So do you guys do advocacy to places where people want to be a part? They find that's their expression of their faith. Yeah. But
that's a really good question.
How do you come to that?
I mean, one of our programs within the spiritual growth department is our morning worship program, and that has been a great program for multiple angles and for multiple reasons. I guess to briefly sum up what the program is, our members, we select a church each month, and our members go and worship with congregations. And when we go worship with them, we get recognized from the pulpit as visiting members within the organization. So, you have us being announced as the Hispanic Black Gay Coalition at a Black congregation, which in by itself is great for reducing stigma, increasing our visibility in the community. And from those morning worships, I'm able to build a connection with the pastor. And so I have follow-up meetings with the pastors to discuss our organization, our mission of making the community more inclusive and accepting of LGBT people. And we begin to build partnerships on what that might look like, how we can engage their church on those issues, and how our organization can be a resource for their priorities as a church.
Right.
It's
a lot of work.
It is a lot of work, and it's not easy.
Just looking at the Black community, that's a wide, diverse community.
Yeah, and the Latino community too, as well.
That's a wide community. Yeah. And then think of the LGBT community, and that's a wide, diverse place. And so needing to advocate to the wider LGBT community of the power and strength and spiritual beauty of the Hispanic Black community to reflect out into the community, and then also serve internally, and then serve sideways to all the different communities, the Black Muslim and Central American, all of the different. That's a lot.
It's definitely tough, and we haven't conquered it all yet. Like I am definitely waiting to the day where I can step inside a mosque and do something similar. But right now our focus have been Black and Latino churches, and some of the pastors have been very receptive. And so I'm not going to sit here and say it's been easy. I've had some doors slammed in my face, and I've had some people refusing to meet with me. But for the pastors that are open, when I didn't expect them to be, which has happened, that's been rewarding within itself. So we look forward to building on that. And I think another thing in the spiritual growth area that we're actually releasing on March 1st on our website is a database that kind of, I hate to use the word rape, but it kind of gives an overview of how accepting and affirming churches are. And so
individually. So it's like a directory or resource list.
Exactly.
Of where folks may find the doors wide open, and where other places where, like, I mean, you're not using the word rating, but is it almost a rating where there's a little bit, the doors are wide open, the doors are open?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's open to...
Do you say doors are closed? Do you list
No. I mean, we don't say, you know, we don't even recommend, like, this is a church you should go to versus this. I mean, I think it's open to the person who uses the database and what they're looking for, which is why I don't like to use rate, because we're all looking for different things when we're looking for a church. So we ask congregation things like, you know, do you do condemning, affirming, neutral sermons as it comes to the LGBT community? Do you have clear LGBT leadership? Do you have LGBT ministers? Do you have HIV ministry programs? Different questions like that. That way...
So the answers would reveal themselves
if the church is right for me or not, and what I'm looking for. Do you conduct same-sex marriages? Another question that may be important to someone else, but not so much for another person. So that's something we're really excited about as well.
That's good. And then, so talking about some of the other programs, I know you do youth conferences, and you know, you know, do the speak out, right? It's not speak out. It's
almost like a speakers bureau. So
yeah,
people can request speakers to come to their school or their business. Yeah. So
say a little bit about some of the places that maybe you've gone to, and maybe if you can, and then you know, talk about some of the youth conference stuff that you've done as well.
Sure. I think GSAs has been like our number one. I guess speaker opportunity. A lot of times we go to high school, middle school GSAs, again, to raise the visibility of LGBT people of color to begin with, and then to offer support for whatever youth may be going through. We have also, I mentioned the church groups, so meeting with some church groups as well as just high schools in general, doing sensitivity training. So it may not be a GSA per se, but just a school, Epiphany School in Dorchester comes to mind, where we got a tour of the school, and we were able to just meet with some students who didn't identify as LGBTQ, but wanted to learn more about why we do what we do and how it's linked to social justice in general. So, you know, that's our speakers rounds in a nutshell. But as far as the youth conference, that's another unique opportunity that I'm proud that HBGC has been able to bring to Boston. It is a day-long conference dedicated to leadership development and advocacy skill development as well. And it is geared towards LGBT youth of color, which is unique for Boston. And our last conference was able to bring in over 90 LGBT youth of color, which is just simply amazing, to build community, to network, to exchange resources, but to also set the foundation for what they want to see in Boston. So to have these conversations about what they're experiencing, but also move it towards action. And so that conference was able to set the foundation for a lot of projects and campaigns that we'll be doing throughout the year. And then again, building on and creating anew for this year's conference.
And I know that you know, men and women participate in the coalition. So, like, you have some different things that are coming up as well.
Sure. Yeah. So even though the word "gay" is in our name, we're very cautious about making sure that we are inclusive of the entire LGBT community, because that's how we're represented in our leadership and our membership. And I'm glad you did mention that, because on March 3rd, coming up, we have a really exciting lesbian symposium. It's nicknamed LOCS, Lesbians of Color Symposium, that is going to take place at Harvard Law School on March 3rd again. And so this is an opportunity for the ladies or the lesbians, bisexual, you know, trans females or their allies, to just come out and build community and to discuss issues that are relevant for them and that are urgent for them. And similar to the youth conference, laid a foundation for building leadership for within our constituency that are women of color, and finding out what's important to them and how HBGC as an organization can make that come alive.
So you have two things coming up in March. Do you have anything in February that's, are you running normal programming and your normal
normal programming,
normal
which
programming.
is quite enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, in February we have our book club. Again, we're featuring James R. Hardy, who's traveling back up to Boston this month to feature his book, B-Boy Blues, as well as our coming out group, our Latino discussion group, our spiritual growth group, which is now at Union United Methodist Church. And all of these things are on our website. So for all the details, definitely visit there, which is www.hbgc-boston.org. So that's kind of what we have going on. And, you know, you can always just check the website to see what we have going on down the line as well.
And there's places for people with ideas to come and participate and jump on board with what you guys have and discuss and everything.
Always, yeah. I mean, I think our volunteers and our interns are what really keep this organization going, or at least allow us to do so much over a short period of time. And so we rely on those fresh new ideas. But again, not just the ideas and the frustrations, but willing to put it towards action and willing to work with me and our team to make it come to life.
That's really good. Also, I didn't mention that Corey also came to this year's 2012 Martin Luther King Jr. Day event that we had at the Somerville Theater. Read a quote for us too.
Yeah.
And so this year's topic was a call to action. Or I shouldn't say was, but it's a call to action.
Yeah.
So, you know, what you guys do at the Hispanic Black Gay Coalition, which is, you know, turning people, you know, into positive action, really is in the spirit of, you know, where we're all trying to go. So that's really good.
Thank you.
And then just you know, say a little bit about some of the highlights of things that are future comings. Like, what do you think, you know, you hope to come to, but you still are percolating?
Can't give away all the secrets.
No secrets.
But we do have
it's a secret. No one will say.
This is going to be an exciting year for a lot of reasons, and without giving too much away, this is going to be a year where we engage unlikely faces on topics that are urgent in our community. So when we look at things like, you know, how the HIV rates are affecting, you know, the Black and brown community, but specifically the Black and brown gay community, we're looking to engage faces that you probably wouldn't predict would be, you know, on a stage talking about HIV. And so, you know, I'll leave that as a teaser and go to the website and continue to follow us to see what comes of that. But that's one event this year that I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about our anthology, which is HBGC's first publication, being released this spring, which is a book of coming out stories.
Wow.
Written by people from this area that are true and real and honest. And so
it's a published book?
It is a published book that is coming this spring, that's going to be available for purchase. And we hope this is a way to reach out to people who don't feel comfortable coming to our events and coming to our services, but can find some type of comfort in realizing that they're not alone, or maybe even advice if they haven't come out the closet yet. So.
That'd be really interesting. I have more ideas to talk to Corey offline.
Yeah, we'd love to come back and talk about that.
Yeah, Somerville's like, you know, a very happening place, and it's definitely, you know, a place for our community to really explore. You know, how can we, you know, embrace the, you know, the coalition and, you know, and find ways to make sure that everyone has a place, and that they know that there's places to talk to, that and I think the fact that you're actually, Corey's going today to our GSA at the high school, just to really give support and opportunities for our own youth to know where they can go.
Definitely, and we definitely want to bring a lot more programming and events to Somerville. So if there's any Somerville people watching, definitely reach out to us, because we have this community in mind for a lot of things that we do want to do. Which
is important. Volunteers don't, you know, just, you know, show up and they don't have an impact. I mean, if we had a lot of volunteers from Somerville, that helps to support for you guys to be able to do those types of programming. We can't just be the recipients of, Boston folks, all showing up out here. It's our own community supporting something that's really interesting and giving something a vibrance.
Yeah.
And then also, because there's so many people from Somerville participating, then that allows for more sturdy of a table. It's not just 2 leg, it's 4 legs, and it becomes a real sturdy place. So,
absolutely, I couldn't have said it better.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think the website is a really good place to find out all the resources, the secrets that Corey won't reveal to Somerville. But the teasers are very, very interesting, so we'll find out more. And then the annual dinner is going to happen again this year?
It is going to happen again this year in November, usually around Veterans Day.
Okay.
So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully we'll be back in Somerville. It was a fantastic venue. And so, there'll be some surprises there as well. Another great keynote speaker, I'm sure. And so, that'll be a great opportunity as well to see what we've done for the year and what we're looking to do on into 2013.
Yeah, you guys have a lot of support that was at the event, so it was really exciting to see a lot of allies that were in the community that showed up. I think I saw your families.
Yeah,
came,
my mom
right?
came down. It was big.
Yeah, it was big. 2 years. So, but that's not 2 years of 2 big chunks. It was every single day that build up.
Yeah, it is. It's fun. It's fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. What's the personal growth that each of you as co-founders? What do I don't know if you can speak for your partner, but
Lord.
we have 3 minutes left. What personal growth?
I need 3 hours for that.
That you didn't expect, but you got. What did you get?
No, I mean, it's been an incredible ride that I'm sure I'm going to learn so much more on. And this is coming from someone who came from the nonprofit field. So I'm knocking on 7 years of experience within working in the social justice field and the nonprofit field. And I'm still learning things every single day.
But you took an idea, you took a concern, you took a feeling of maybe loss or a gap, and you turned it around.
Exactly.
And as a young person, there's opportunity with support.
Yeah, and I mean, it is a journey, but I don't want to make it seem so daunting to the point that I discourage other people to do it. It's been the most rewarding thing in my life for me and my partner. I definitely can say that for him as well. And you do learn a lot of leadership development skills, a lot of grant writing skills, a lot of fundraising skills that, not only allow you to fulfill your own dreams, but probably to do things that I don't even know what I'm going to accomplish down the line. And so that experience is invaluable. And so I definitely encourage anyone who's interested in launching their own project, their own organization group, to definitely do so. Reach out to me for advice, or I can connect you to other people. But you have to sometimes just take control of an issue or a disparity that's impacting your community, and that's the only true way to make a difference.
Wow. Well, we have now been able to run through 30 minutes with our friend Corey Yarbrough of the Hispanic Black Gay Coalition. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It's not the first time that Corey's been here on behalf of the organization, and I certainly hope it's not the last. So watch out for the website, and more activities will be promoted throughout the community. So Corey, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's it.
Cool.
Yeah.
That was nice and quick.
It's amazing.